3, 2, 1. Today is the first Sunday of Advent. It's a joyous period because it's a period of preparation and waiting. But I have to confess that whenever I think of Advent, a certain image always comes to mind for me, especially coming from Alaska. It's an image that I always think about during Advent, and that is the image of darkness. In Alaska, we have a lot of it, especially getting towards wintertime. At the worst of it, the sun would rise at 9:30 in the morning, and it would be completely down by 2:30 in the afternoon. So right as you might be let out of school, it's pure darkness. And it's interesting to me that during Advent, that darkness seemingly increases all the way until the coming of Jesus Christ. Advent actually culminates around the same time as the winter solstice. Once December 21st emerges, there will only be more light. We gain time, and in Alaska we gain nearly 4 minutes. Every day there will be 4 more minutes of light. It's an image that's always stuck with me because I think that sense of darkness really is felt from the first reading in Jeremiah. Jeremiah is a prophet who we often associate with the new covenant, the one who has recognized the failures of the Israelites and all of Judea. That while God has led them out as a people in the Exodus, they have continued to disobey the covenant. They have been overrun by other kingdoms. They have been exiled. They have returned. And I think Jeremiah says what's on the mind of anyone in that situation. It's failed. It's not going to work. We have failed the covenant. We need a new one. And we eagerly await that time which God will fulfill his promise, because we can't do it. We've tried. We've failed, we've tried, we've failed. Where else are we to go? You are the only one who can save us. And it even says in Jeremiah, we eagerly await that promise that you will come to save us. And Advent is the story that we have all been waiting for. It's the story of all humanity in what humanity desires. The boy king, the Savior who will be born to us, the Messiah, the one who reconciles all of us back to God. And it's a journey from darkness to the light, and that light increasing more and more as we prepare for his coming. So it's a time for us in our own lives, feeling that darkness, that sense of separation. I don't always feel good. I suffer from anxiety or depression. I'm struggling very difficult with a spouse or friend. Everything has its place, but I feel out of it. Things are going wrong. Things are not going well. Well, that is a time perfect for Advent. It's a time to prepare for Jesus Christ, who will wipe away every tear that exists, who will reconcile that heart that you have been yearning so hard to feel united to God. So if you feel in a dark place or in a difficult time, this is the season of preparation for the coming of the Messiah. And Jesus in the gospel tells us that these things are going to be experienced. He mentions great upheaval, earthquakes, and great famine, tragedy. He says these things will happen, and they must happen. but woe to them who happen without me, without faithfulness to me. He tells us again in the gospel that be on your guard, be prepared for these coming difficulties. If you bind yourself close in prayer, if you haven't prayed, this is the time to do so. If you haven't been to confession, this is the time that will give you that reconciliation and happiness and peace. If you haven't had a moment of peace with your family, this is the time it can happen. That darkness, which affects all of us, can be made into light. Advent is the season of preparation and leading to joy. So my brothers and sisters, let us not be afraid. The joy is on the way.